How is your interest rate determined? I want you to understand that what you see in the interest rates that are quoted don't necessarily apply to any individual. They're only there to advertise and protect the bank that's lending the money. That's right. When you see that lowest interest rate, that means that the bank is saying, if you take no features and you give us all the power and all the protection, we'll give you this interest rate. But if anything changes, if there's any risk associated with that file, then your interest rate's going to go up. Now let's talk about it a little bit more. Interest rates, as I said, are determined by 3 factors, okay? And we'll dig into more of those details about the banks and what protects them as we go through the process. The first thing, the most important thing that impacts your interest rate is you. Now remember, I mentioned interest rates are like features. Well, what's that mean? Well, we've all bought a car, right? And when you go into the car dealership, you know pretty much going in that if you ask for leather seats, the more powerful engine, automatic power windows, specialty colors, and the best sound system, you're going to pay more for each of those different features. And you see it right on the window when you look at the sticker. It says, here's the cost for the car and here's the cost for every single feature, right? Well, mortgages are the same way, but the features are different. So what are the features in a mortgage? Mortgage features are things like, how much income do you make as relative to your expenses? We call it the debt to income ratio. How's your FICO score? How's your credit? How much do you have in savings? How much are you using as a down payment? What type of program are you going to use? These are all features, and every decision you make along the way is going to impact your interest rate. The second piece that goes into determining interest rate is the lender. Now there are tons of lenders out there. There are national banks and regional banks. There are credit unions. There are mortgage bankers. There are mortgage brokers. How do we know who to use? Well, that's going to be entirely dependent upon your package and how you present yourself. So no matter what your package looks like, as a broker, I'm going to have access to products that are going to best suit your needs. Once we build your package, once we understand what your story is, then we can go and we can find the mortgage products through the proper lenders that provide those products that actually match your particular file. The third piece is the marketplace. Now, we can't control the marketplace, we just have to deal with it, right? And I'll tell you right now that you should understand the marketplace is not just what you see on TV or in the newspapers. They represent maybe 6 to 10 specific and very important aspects of the broader financial market that impacts mortgage interest rates. But I'll tell you there's a whole bunch of additional considerations when you're a bank. See, every bank has their own particular, dozens and dozens of markers that they have to look at and consider when they're building their business, right? And when they're managing their business. There are regulators that come in the banks a lot of times on a monthly basis to determine which mortgages they can have on their books and which products they are allowed to present and not present to the greater market. And all those things go into the items that you might be familiar with: mortgage bonds, the 10-year bond yield, the treasuries, all those things you see on TV that end up becoming broader. So what we do is we go from very specific to broad. Broad is then advertised out to the market, and then it's associated with some type of interest rate. Those 3 things all together is what's going to create an interest rate.